talked, right? So once again, my name is Miles Twitty. We're here with Jazz Live. Listen, like we talked about, that's something called the blues, right? The blues is not just, like I said, the blues is not just about the color or about sadness. It can be. Those are both totally valid things, but it's really expressing whatever emotions you're feeling. You can be playing the blues and you're angry, you're playing the blues and you're happy, you're playing the blues and you feel silly, whatever.
You need to talk to Perry. How do you
everybody. How y'all doing today? Good. Right on. Once again, my name is Mr. Twitty. I know almost all of you in here, whether it's from this school, from Royal Hill. And I'm excited to be. I was thinking about you all this year, and I really want to make sure I got back in touch with you all. So I'm really glad we were able to make this happen. Thank you, Mr. Hammonds, for welcoming us back. So that first tune we played, does anybody know what that tune is called?
I forgot.
No.
It's the tune we're going to play for the program. Thank you.
Right, the Sandsco Marching, and that's a very popular tune in New Orleans, Louisiana. Before we go forward, I want to make sure we reintroduce these instruments to a lot of you all. So what's this instrument up here called? I'm saying.
A trumpet?
Right, a trumpet, right? So this is called a trumpet.
Oh,
I know y'all know what to do. This is a trumpet.
What?
A trumpet.
Oh.
A trumpet.
Oh, a trumpet.
Exactly, right? And y'all know enough about me. I'm going to let them go ahead and take over their instrument. All right.
Saxophone.
No.
What?
A tuba?
No.
Who's it?
It's not a saxophone?
It's a flute.
It's a flute.
You got it, man.
Saxophone. Which type?
Brass?
Wait,
It is brass. Soprano, alto, tenor, baritone. Which one do you think?
Baritone?
No, baritone's got a deep
Alto?
voice. Alto, there you go. Good job.
Hi, I'm Ben. I think you all know what this instrument is. I don't think it needs any explanation. I'm happy to be here. I was just saying to the last group that was in here, you know, I hope you all, whether it's with music or art or anything, I hope you all get a creative outlet for yourselves and really enjoy doing something like this the way we do, because it really, makes our lives full. And I hope all the same for all you too.
Hello everybody, I'm Matt McCoy. Does anybody know what this is called?
cello.
Close.
You got it back there. So yeah, this is an acoustic bass or an upright bass or a double bass. It's all names for the same thing. I've even heard people call it the doghouse. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So this is in the violin family. It's similar to the sax. It goes violin's the smallest, then it's viola, then cello, and then this is the largest of the orchestral string things. And usually in a classical setting, it's used playing a bow, just like a violin or however they do it. But yeah, in this situation, it's kind of treated and functions a little bit more like the electric bass over there, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with, and you pluck it with your fingers. It's called pizzicato when you pluck it like that. But yeah, we're looking forward to playing some more and chatting with you guys, and yeah.
What's up, guys? I'm Richard. Do we know what this is?
A drum.
Okay. Bongos. Happy to be here with you guys. Looking forward to playing more music for you guys today.
Let me ask y'all real quick before we move on. Does anybody know, we talked about the different parts of the drum set a little bit last year. Does anybody know what this drum in particular is called?
I forgot.
Somebody said it.
I heard somebody say it.
No.
Does anybody know? If you know it, shout it out. The snare drum. Yeah, I heard somebody say it. Right, this is the snare drum. And what are these things called?
Not trombones.
Cymbals, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, some of you, I remember, some of you were playing the drum and some of you were playing the cymbals right here. Right, so that's good that you'll remember that. Cool. So let me ask y'all this question. Before we move forward, I want to go and talk about this. Everybody remember where jazz was born? What city?
New Orleans.
Who said that? Yeah, there's exactly, New Orleans. Let me hear about say New Orleans. Let me hear about say New Orleans. Exactly, New Orleans, Louisiana is where jazz was born. Now the reason that jazz was born in that city is because it was what we call a port city. P-O-R-T. Everybody say port city.
Port City.
Right. What that means is that it has a lot of docks and everything for boats to come in, right? So there were a lot of people coming from it was one of the biggest ones in the world at that time in America. It had a lot of people coming from all different places of the world, from France, Spain, England, and as well as all their they mixed all their cultures and music together. In addition to that, we had Black Americans in this city, right? And so at this point in American history, right, Black Americans were enslaved. Right, so we were not allowed to express ourselves creatively except for on one day out of the week. And that was on Sunday, and we did that in a place called Congo Square. Let me hear everybody say Congo Square.
Congo Square.
In Congo Square, that's where Musicians in the city, black musicians in the city would get together and they would play the music of their tradition, whether it's African drumming, soul singing, as well as when they started adding instruments, that's when we start seeing the creation of jazz music, right? Does anybody remember the trumpet player, the most famous trumpet player from New Orleans, Louisiana? His name starts with an L. Starts with an L.
You said it's
I'll give you the first. The first name is Louis, or Louis.
Louis Armstrong.
Right, Louis Armstrong. Let everybody say Louis Armstrong.
Louis Armstrong.
So Louis Armstrong was one of the, like I said, one of the most famous musicians to come out of New Orleans, Louisiana. And his big thing is he really loved to play, in addition to other things, he really loved playing spirituals. So what we're going to play for you, we're going to play a spiritual entitled Down by the Riverside. Right? A flat. A flat. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, Riverside. right? Now, before we move forward, I want to talk to you about one more thing. This is probably, for me, one of the most important elements of jazz music, right? We got to talk, before we talk about, chord changes and musicians and everything, we got to talk about something called the blues. Let me hear everybody say the blues.
The blues.
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 It's okay. Not as good the second time, but that's okay, right? So when we hear the word the blues, raise your hand and tell me some things that might come to mind.
That's like you do something, like sing something that's sad.
Okay, sing something that's sad.
Rhythm.
Rhythm, okay. Oh, like rhythm and blues, true. Yeah.
The color blue.
The color blue. No, that's totally valid. The color blue. Is that a hand in the back?
Sadness.
Sadness, right? So the main thing we're getting is sadness and the color blue, which is totally cool. But the thing about the blues is that even though those elements are true, the blues can express a wide range of emotions, right? It doesn't just have to be sad, right? You can play the blues and be happy, right? So I'm gonna play something bluesy and play something kind of sad, right? Right? So when I play something like that, I'm kind of thinking of somebody sad, somebody moaning, like somebody very upset. Right? But the blues can also be happy. I can play something happy, but I don't know if anyone else wants to try and play something happy as well. You want to try something happy? You want to try? I don't want to put you on the spot.
Happy, let's see. One thing that will automatically tell you if it's the blues or not is one note. And so whenever you listen to any kind of music, the blues is in every style of music at this point. Everything you listen to on the radio, everything you listen to, there's blues and there's one note. So we're here, you play.
Yeah.
So if you hear, that note right there, it's called the blue note. And it's specific to the blues. So it's something that African Americans kind of brought to music. That one note, to lean into it.
Let me hear everybody say blue note.
Blue note.
And he played that exact same happy melody in that same key. He went ba 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 beep. And he used the same.
Right? And the blues can also be, it can be funny too. It can be silly. I'm generally a pretty silly person when I'm not, teaching. Right? It can be silly too. But you know what I'm talking about, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Right. So what we're gonna do? Hold on. Stick with me. Stick with me. Right. What we're gonna do? We're gonna play a blues for you all entitled St. Louis Blues. Let me hear everybody say St. Louis Blues.
St. Louis Blues.
St. Louis Blues. Right. This is a tune that was made, if not written by, made famous by the jazz vocalist named Bessie Smith, blues vocalist named Bessie Smith. Right, Bessie Smith. Let me hear everybody say Bessie Smith.
Bessie Smith.
On this same recording, she also had another famous trumpet player that we talked about. Shout it out if you know it.
Trumpet players?
Trumpet player. Yeah, I had a trumpet player on this recording. We just talked about it.
Louis Armstrong.
Louis Armstrong. Let me everybody say Louis Armstrong.
Louis
Let everybody say Louis Armstrong.
Louis Armstrong.
Everybody hear everybody say Satchmo.
Satchmo.
Right, that was one of the nicknames. That's one of the nicknames that he had. That's one of the nicknames. I'll talk to you all about when that came from a while. But we're gonna play this tune entitled St. Louis Blues. All right, we'll get into it. And we're gonna play. And once again, when we're playing these things, we're not just thinking sad. Right? We're just expressing whatever kinds of emotions we have. For a lot of us, our emotions that we have right now is that we're tired. So that might be one of the things that we play. Right? One, two, again, my name is Miles Twitty. We're here with Jazz Live. This concludes our presentation, but I want to open the floor up to any questions for any of the musicians, not just myself. You can ask what the drums are, whatever you want to ask. Any questions you may have. I got a question with that.
Okay, so why did y'all choose the instrument that y'all playing?
That's a good question.
Well, the saxophone is the best instrument ever created.
That's not
You also play saxophone. Don't worry about it. It's the best instrument. Actually, your parents have a lot to do with what instrument you pick. Because if they're listening to certain music and it's got a lot of drums in it, you'd be more inclined to pick the drums. Like when you start a band or something, they say, what instrument do you like? Well, I guess I like the drums because I listen to it all the time. So whatever music that you listen to, or your parents listen to, there's one instrument in there that just kind of catches your ear. And so you should notice that. It could be the voice, but sometimes it's the piano or the guitar or something. And so you'll pick one or two that you really like.
Got another question.
Do every circle on the saxophone work?
Oh, every key?
Yeah.
Yeah. So saxophone, you make a vibration here. And the air comes out of each one of these holes to make different notes.
Which one is the hardest?
The trumpet.
Like,
The trumpet.
Really?
Well,
It might be.
it's like every instrument has a different set of challenges, I think. So like, on one hand, Miles plays the trumpet, which is a painful instrument to play. Seriously, the trumpet hurts your face every time you play it.
Sometimes.
So-
If you're not doing it right.
So and it takes and to play any brass instrument takes an immense amount of like warming up and doing studies and stuff. So that's the challenge of the trumpet, right? Back there, Matt on the upright bass, he has a lot of challenges too. He has to build up calluses on his fingers that he uses to pluck the strings. His left hand needs to also be in good shape to play. If Matt takes more than a couple days off of that instrument, it's going to be significantly harder to play. As opposed to the electric bass.
Plus he's operating without a fretboard too.
Yeah.
That's the thing about so we're teaching about the frets.
If you play instruments, you'll be very good at video games.
Yes, it's true. It's true.
And vice versa.
It's true. Yeah, maybe not vice versa. Depends on the ratio. But then, on the piano, it's like I don't have to deal with playing air through the instrument, right? But I have up to 10 notes to play at a time. So, they all have different challenges. Except the saxophone. The saxophone is the easiest.
The saxophone, outside of the piano, the saxophone is the easiest wind instrument to
Doesn't look
start.
that easy.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And to Ben's point, I have a lot of students that pick an instrument, whether it's piano or drums or saxophone or whatever it is, and they're like, this is too hard, let me switch to another one. And I never let them switch, because no matter what instrument you pick, like Ben said, there's going to be some challenges that are involved in that. Those we call those like growing pains. That's just a process that you have to go through on any instrument.